Hello, right, I've got an update for everyone for this exhibition I'm trying to get off the ground called The Cure is in This Land. I've just been doing a bit of fundraising for the last few weeks, and I've raised just under £500 so far, which isn't bad, but we've got a bit to go. I've sent off some emails this morning to some galleries to try and get some quotes to hire, but based on the show that we did in 2002, I think we spent about £1.5 grand renting a gallery for about a week during that time. So I've set the budget at 3,000 this year, just to give us a bit more to account for inflation and to hopefully get a bigger space, maybe a bit longer as well, if possible, if budget allows. But I'm just doing a call out. We need more help, really, more artists to get involved. I could do with a bit of help on the administration side, because I'm only being able to set a few hours aside for this work on top of all my other commitments in the week on a weekly basis. So if anyone would be keen to get involved, I'd be so appreciative. So if you could email me at machineelf83@protonmail.com, that would be amazingly helpful. And you don't have to be an artist. It could just be that you're a good organizer. If you've been active in the freedom movement in the last few years and you've had success organizing things, then I'd be very grateful for any help and advice you could have, because this is going to be a group effort, and it's going to be a lot for me to do entirely on my own. Last time I did quite a lot of the pre-preparation for the show on my own. Everyone came together and helped hang the show in the end, which was really good. I'm so super grateful for that help. But to get it off the ground, yeah, we need to get that happening again. I've just been looking at lots of galleries across London. It's hard to find a space where the chances of us getting cancelled last minute, or getting galleries getting scared to show it, are quite difficult. So we have to be tactical in who we're looking for to approach and not waste our time with that. And that's why I think for this, the theme isn't, I want it to be more about solutions. I think we've done a lot of calling out the problems, and I want us to look about what we can do to make the world better and to make our situation in this country better. So I think that makes it a more showable show. We're not going to self-censor. We're still going to be speaking a lot of truth to power, truth to tyranny. But we don't need to be super kind of on the attack, if it were. I just don't think it's necessary this time. I think a lot of people are waking up anyway. So this is more just going to be, right, you're waking up, you're seeing these problems, like, what can we do? How can we activate? And this is my form of doing a bit of activation as well. It can be talking about self-reliance. You know, a lot of people are forming their own communities, growing their own food, investing in stable forms of money, be that crypto or precious metals. How we can build ourselves to just get through this. And that can be on the spiritual side as well. If you're exploring spiritual matters or plant medicine, meditation, healing, or just kind of reaching out to your local community and finding new friends. These are all topics that I'd like people to talk about in their work. And obviously by getting involved in this exhibition, it will give you an opportunity to have those conversations. It's a great chance to meet people. And I met some lovely artists when I did the show last time, and I'd love to see them all again. I've not seen them for quite a while. I've got a young child, so I'm not as active on the social scene as I used to be, but I do try and pop in every now and again. So any of those heads that remember me from last time, do please try and get involved again. Anything else that I can think about that is important for people to know about the show? Yeah, just looking at setting a date. So I would like to do it potentially in the autumn this year. I think that's a good time. Lots of art shows open in the autumn. It gives people plenty of time to make some work to submit. I've made the submission process quite open. You can make anything up to 1.3 meters squared. It's quite cheap to submit to join the show. It's I just made it £15, and if you want to have multiple works in, I think I've put £25 for 3 artworks. I've had some people saying that's quite expensive, but I mean, I've been an artist working for over 20 years in London, and I've applied to loads of shows, and it's quite common to pay up to like £20, £30 to submit to one show. So this is at the lower end. And if you're making good artwork that's about the themes, the chances are you're going to get in this show. So it's not money down the drain. Just make some good quality work. And even if you don't get in the show, you know you've supported something that's really worthwhile. I've had some very generous donations already thank you for the people that have done that. People have dropped in like large amounts, like 50 quid here and there, you know, upwards of that. And that's absolutely amazing from people all around the world. We just need to really build on that momentum and keep it going. I guess it's a bit tricky because the last time I did the show was in 2002, so it's been a while since then. So I wish I'd done this show, the sequel show to The Cure is Worse Than the Alleged Disease, a bit sooner, but you know, life got in the way and I wasn't able to take it on, but I'm finally doing it now. But yeah, I just need help really, and that can be in any small way. Just ideas, conversations, anyone to put some input, that would be amazing. I've started making a painting myself for the show, a figurative painting, which I don't usually do. I'm more of a landscape artist, but that's exciting. I don't want to say too much about that because it would be quite nice to have some surprises for people to see on the opening night. Things like if people could donate their time, like on the opening night, to help serve drinks, or if people could donate things like drinks, if you know people that could do that, that would also be amazing. I'm quite good at hanging pictures because I do that myself as a job, as one of my part-time jobs. I've probably got that covered, but people who are good at putting the documentation things together, we might make a catalogue. Obviously, I'm all going to be involved in this myself and oversee it, but any input would be greatly appreciated. I think that's it really for now, so I'll just give you the my email address one more time, and that's machineelf83@protonmail.com. and if you want to go on the donor box page, if you just want to put some money in and read more about the information, I'll put it all there. It's on donorbox.org/the-is-the-hyphen, but there's going to be a link at the bottom of this YouTube page anyway for that. That would be amazing. So thanks everyone that's put donations in so far, but that's a great start, but we need to get it going a bit more. Much appreciated. Thanks everyone, and looking forward. I've seen a few artists have sent a few beautiful paintings in, so we've got some good names in already, fairly big names in the freedom movement. So if you're an artist and you'd like to be seen amongst the likes of those artists that have really got out there and got their name out, speaking about all the disastrous things, but what we can be an optimism against that, the disastrous things, and that would be great. If you want to be, you should think of yourselves as amongst those good company of artists, should I say. Anyway, enough said about it now. Thanks everyone for taking the time to listen to this message. Please spread it far and wide. All the best. Bye bye.